Alright, so here is the third and final video of the walkthrough on how to install the 61 to 63 auto drop module. So as I showed you in the previous video, this is the piece that goes inside of each door. There is a ground, which is the black one with the terminal on it, power. That down goes to your, and up for your switch. And then yellow is the coil wire. That's on the middle of the switch. So the part that I talked about before, I talked about in one of the other videos about how to hook up these four wires here. Let's see if I can get to focus. So ground, in one, in two, VCC. The part I mentioned in the other video was these three pins here. So what this does is there's this switch. So I'll give you a pair of switches. And the point is that when your windows are all the way down, the window pushes this down just when the window gets to the very bottom. So what that does is that breaks the signal going to the coil, so that the coil side of the relay, so that the relays can't fire. So the whole point of that is so that when you, if your windows are all the way down and you get out, someone in the rear seat gets out and closes the door, you don't want the window to go up because they've closed the door because you had your windows all the way down, because it's hot out. So what you'll do is you take off this little jumper thing here, so it just pulls off just like that, and then you'll plug this on. So I'll show you real quick. Pretty easy. So the switch has just got these two little DuPont connectors. You just plug them in. Just like that. So if you find that once you plug them in, give them a little tug, make sure they're snug, and then what I do is put a little bit of hot glue on it, or epoxy, or shoe goo, something like that. That'll just make sure that they don't vibrate loose. One of the things that I find is that if these get wiggled around a lot because they're not secured, they'll become loose. Or if you're because obviously I'm not including a bracket to mount this to the bottom of the track because I don't have a 61 to 63 to use as a template, so you're gonna have to make your own bracket, but you can do it just like what I have in my for the 64 and 5 that I showed in the other videos. I just fab something up similar to that, but what I was getting at is that you're probably going to be taking this off and on several times as you're kind of like test fitting it. So if you end up plugging and unplugging this several times, you'll find that these connectors may get a little bit loose. So to tighten them up, all you have to do is, you'll see on the end there, if you just pull the plastic a little bit, you see it kind of pulls up a little bit. Let me see if I can get it close to the camera so that you can see it. So, come on. Come on. There's a little metal, you can see there's kind of a loop, and then there's like a flat spot that goes under the loop. So what you do is just get something really skinny. So I'm just using another bit of wire. But what you actually do is you push in that little tab. You can see it. You just give it a little push like that, and then that sort of retensions that little spring kind of clippy thing there that's underneath the loop. So that's what makes the friction against these pins. So then you just plug those on there onto the VCC. There's two VCCs, an RY VCC and then a regular VCC, and then a ground. When you're done, this ground terminal on this left ground, it's the same as this ground, but this ground here should be just open, so nothing's connected to it. So you've got this, the bypass is on these two VCC pins, and then you got your ground, input 1, input 2, and your actual power on this side. That should be everything. Cheers.